Even though I am from Maryland, I did choose UF even though I'm paying out-of-state tuition because UF is the only veterinary school that offers an aquatic health certificate.
I really liked how in your first year you're learning about the physiologically normal animal. The second year you transition into the physiological abnormal animal, and once you hit your third year you're actually in clinics. And this is something that really sets the University of Florida apart from other universities, where a lot of times you go into taking your national boards at the beginning of your fourth year without ever touching a client's animal or having that clinical experience, or only being in it for a few months. And I really like the fact that you start your fourth year still in the classroom, and then you transition back into clinics.
We have a spectacular reputation, and I think that our staff and faculty and administration always tend to go above and beyond, just to trying to make us better veterinarians and better prepared for practice in the world. And I honestly think that the best example of that is the clinical skills class and a new lab that they actually just built. Because it's not necessarily just saying that we're going to be better prepared veterinarians, it's actually showing us how we're going to be better prepared.
Because of the equine aspect, we have Ocala 30-45 minutes away, and being someone who wants to be an equine practitioner, that was a really big deciding factor for me. It was no contest. I love it here, and I'm so happy with my choice. I would not change it for anything in the world.
Decided it was really just a gut feeling, and when I came here for my interview, I just fell in love.
There's so much variety here. Everywhere you go, you could drive 5 minutes and all of a sudden everything looks different, everything feels different. It's all about finding what part of the city speaks to you.
30-minute drive to go to Ichitucky and float down the river. You can go to Rainbow Springs.
I'm originally from Switzerland, Florida, so I'm really close to the beach. So I think that was the biggest change about moving to Gainesville, was not having the beach right there. But then I discovered Cedar Key, which is only a 45-minute drive, and it is beautiful, and I love it there. And I love to fish, so I go there all the time.
I live an hour and a half away from what I like to call the Big Three, and that's Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa.
Being able to go to the Gator games.
Well, it's just the amount of outdoors opportunities there's around here. There's a lot of hiking trails, biking trails.
The fact that there's only a city here because of the school, so everything is very close. It takes, without traffic, it takes about 5 minutes to get everywhere.
Because there is a never-ending supply of food. You could pretty much dream up anything that you wanted to eat, and it is here.
If you're shooting for quantity of time, I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend, kind of focus your quantity of time on how you're going to plan your studying, and then set apart some quality time to really spend either with your friends or your significant other, or even by yourself.
My main thing is once a month, let's do something fun. If a friend asks me on the fly, I kind of evaluate my schedule, see where I'm at in my coursework, and if I can do it, I'll do it, but if not, then I'll have to turn them down and reschedule and take a recheck.
And I also make sure I go to hip hop fitness every week, because it it de-stresses my mind. Like, I will try to go to sleep and I can't for like 15-20 minutes because my mind is literally wandering. So if I go and work out, it like de-stresses me and I have fun doing it.
My plan is that Monday through Thursdays is straight school. I come home from school and I do my work, but then Friday nights are my night to relax, watch movies, and then over the weekends I do spend some time studying, but I also make time for myself and also just life things, cleaning and cooking and doing laundry.
And I do a lot of study groups and hang out a lot on the weekends, and there's always different opportunities. There's someone that's running this volunteer or this rescue, or someone has this awesome Groupon for some concert.
Most days, on average, we start class around 9:30, 10. And so I wake up early in the morning. I wake up at 6 a.m. and I study until we start class, and then I go to school all day. And then if we get out at 3, I have the rest of the afternoon to do whatever I want. And so I'll go ride my horse, I'll go to the gym, work out, go running.
Balancing relationships in your life is something to take into consideration too, because the people that you love, your friends, your family, and significant others, they are going to have to get used to you studying all the time.
You might start a class and then 3 weeks later you end it and start another one.
The long hours in class. In undergrad, you will have like an hour class here, a 2-hour long class there, and some days might be back to back, but in vet school it's 8 to 5 most days.
Realizing that when you have a test, it doesn't mean that you can study a day before or 2 days before or even a week before. you have to study every single day. From the day you start taking that course, you need to keep up with it.
If you make it to the interview stage, just be yourself. They told me that when I was going in for my interviews, and I didn't believe them. But if I was the quirky, weirdo, nerdy girl that I really am when I was in there, I think that it would have made a world of difference earlier on.
I probably would have studied a little more in undergrad, so I wouldn't have had to wait 3 years to get in.
Wish I had thought more and realized that I would be having this quality experience, not just necessarily in my education, but in the people that I was going to be meeting as well. Which sounds awfully corny, but it's very true.
Go Gators!
Go University of Florida College of Veterinary Medicine.
Go Gators!
It's great to be a Florida Vet Med Gator.
Go Gators!
Go Gators!